Welcome to the Standard Review. Today we'll be looking at the Standard Review number 1, which is membership is voluntary and without time limits. Which means that you ain't forced to be a member, and the only thing you need to become a member is to have a mental health diagnosis on paper that we can file, and we'll give you a referral form in. There are no time limits. It means once a member, always a member. Welcome to the Standard Review. I'll be reviewing the second standard of a Clubhouse model, which is the Clubhouse has control over its acceptance of new members. Membership is open to anyone with a history of mental illness unless that person poses a significant and current threat to the general safety of the Clubhouse community. So basically, all you have to be a member here is a mental health diagnosis. And then we'll give you a referral form and you can become a member. If you don't have a mental health diagnosis, we have control over who we accept, so you won't be able to show in the Clubhouse. And if you pose a significant threat, like it said, we can also deny you entry. That's it for today's Standard Review. Hello and welcome to the Standard Review. Today we'll be looking at Standard number 3, which is members choose the way they utilize the Clubhouse and the staff with whom they work. There are no agreements, contracts, schedule, or rules intended to enforce participation of members. Meaning like you can come in and choose to work in media, and then in the afternoon you can work in wellness or admin. But it doesn't mean you can just sleep and just use the phone or the computer. You have to contribute to the work of the day. That is all for this review of the Standard. Hello and welcome to the Standard Review. Today we're looking at Standard number 4. All members have equal access to every Clubhouse opportunity with no differentiation based on diagnosis or level of functioning. So no matter what your diagnosis or functioning level is, you have access to every opportunity here at the Clubhouse. That's it for this Standard Review. Hello and welcome to the Standard Review. I'm here today with Eddie, and we're going to be talking about Standard number 5. Members at their choice are involved in the writing of all records reflecting their participation in the Clubhouse. All such records are to be signed by both member and staff. What do you think that means when we talk about that, Eddie?
Really don't know.
Well, I think basically that members are equal to staff pretty much at the Clubhouse. There's nothing the staff can do that we can't. For example, that include records. So do you think we're following this standard at the Clubhouse?
Yes.
Well, they haven't asked me to sign no records yet, but I'll take his word for it. Got anything else you want to add?
Nope.
Alright. That's it for today's Standard Review. Welcome to this week's Standard Review. We are looking at Standard number 6. Members have a right to immediate re-entry into the Clubhouse community after any leave of absence, unless their return poses a significant and current threat to the Clubhouse community. So if you're gone for a while, you can always come back as long as you are safe and don't pose a threat. That is all for this week's Standard Review. Hello and welcome to the Standard Review. Today I'll be looking at Standard number 7. The Clubhouse provides an effective reach-out system to members who are not intending becoming isolated in the community or hospitalized. Meaning if you're a member and you've been away for a while, we'll call you to see how you're doing. That is all for this week's Standard Review. Welcome to this week's Standard Review. I will be reviewing Standard number 8. All Clubhouse meetings are open to both members and staff. There are no formal member-only meetings or formal staff-only meetings where program decisions and member issues are discussed. Meaning there are no member or staff-specific meetings and everyone is equal at the Clubhouse. That is all for this Standard Review. Hello and welcome to this week's Standard Review. I will be reviewing Standard number 9. Clubhouse staff are sufficient to engage the membership, yet few enough to make carrying out their responsibilities impossible without member involvement. That means that it's all about members. Members do the work and staff are understaffed on purpose to allow members to step up. That is all for this week's Standard Review. Welcome to the Standard Review. Today I'll be reading Standard number 10. Clubhouse staff have shiftless roles. All staff share employment, housing, evening and weekend, holiday and unit responsibilities. Clubhouse staff do not divide the time between Clubhouse and other major work responsibilities that conflict with the unique nature of member/staff relationships. That is all for the Standard Review.
Good morning, this is Ellen Burkamp, and I'm a club member of the Lotus House, and I'm going to read the 11th standard, number 11. It is responsibility for the operation of the clubhouse lies with the members and staff and ultimately with the clubhouse director. Central to this responsibility is the engagement of members and staff in all aspects of Clubhouse operation. And that is the 11th standard, and thank you very much for tuning in. I'm Ellen Burkamp. Good morning. Goodbye.
Hello, I'm doing the standard for today, and it is the Clubhouse has its own identity, including its own name, mailing address, email, and telephone number.
Hello and welcome to this week's Standard Review. Today I'm reviewing standard number 13, which says, the Clubhouse is located in its own physical space. It is separate from any mental health center or institutional settings, and is impenetrable to other programs. The Clubhouse is designed to facilitate the work of the day, and at the same time be attractive, adequate in size, and convey a sense of respect and dignity. That is all for this week's Standard Review. Hello and welcome to this week's Standard Review. Today I'll be reviewing standard number 14, which says, all Clubhouse space is member and staff accessible. There are no staff-only or member-only spaces, which means there's not a spot just for staff or just for members. Everyone is equal at Clubhouse. That is all for this week's Standard Review.
All right, good evening, afternoon, whatever time you are watching this. It's currently 12:36, but yeah. Hello. Today, I'm Jasmine, by the way. First time being on here doing all this. But today we are going to read the work order day. So, the work order day encourages members and staff together side by side in the runnings of the Clubhouse. The Clubhouse focuses on strengths, talents, and abilities. Therefore, the work order day must not include medication clinics, day treatments, or therapy programs within the Clubhouse.
Hello and welcome to the first Standard Review of the new year. I will be reviewing standard number 16. The work done in the Clubhouse is exclusively the work generated by the Clubhouse in the operation and enhancement of the Clubhouse community. No work for outside individuals or agencies, whether for pay or not, is acceptable work in the Clubhouse. Members are not paid for any Clubhouse work, nor are there any artificial reward systems. So in other words, all work is voluntary and helps you grow. That is all for today's Standard Review. Hello and welcome to this week's Standard Review. I'll be reviewing standard number 17, which might be the shortest standard since standard number 1. And it says, the Clubhouse is open at least 5 days a week. The work order day parallel typical working hours. That means we're open from 8 to 4 when work is usually done from, 8 to 4. That is all for this week's Standard Review. Welcome to this week's Standard Review, and I'll be reviewing standard number 18, which says, the Clubhouse is organized into one or more work units. Each of which has sufficient staff, members, and meaningful work to sustain a full and engaging work order day. And unit meetings are held to foster relationship as well as to organize and plan the work of the day. That is all for the Standard Review.
Standard 19, all work in the Clubhouse is designed to help members regain self-worth, purpose, and confidence. It is not intended to be job-specific training.
To this week's Standard Review, and we'll be reviewing standard number Shoni. Charles, take it away.
Standard number 20. Members have the opportunity to participate in all work of the Clubhouse, including administration, research, enrollment, and orientation, reach out, or out hiring, training, and evaluation of staff, public relations, research, advocacy, and evaluation of Clubhouse efficiency.
That's a pretty good standard. You think we followed that, Hill?
Yes.
What do you think, Cameron? You think we followed that standard, Hill? Are you with us? Are you with us?
Are you with us today?
Are you with me?
Yes!
Okay. That is all for the standard review. Hello and welcome to this week's Standard Review. Eddie will be reading standard number 21. Take it away, Eddie.
The Clubhouse enables its members to return to paid work through transitional employment, supported employment, and independent employment. Therefore, the Clubhouse does not provide employment to members through in-house businesses, segregated clubhouse, enterprise, or sheltered workshops.
Thank you, Eddie. That is all for the Standard Review. Hello and welcome to this week's Standard Review. And today we'll be reviewing standard number 22. Take it away, Cameron.
Yo, standard number 22. The Clubhouse offers its own transitional employment program, which provides a right of membership opportunities for members to work on jobs placements in the labor market. As a defending characteristic of a Clubhouse transitional employment program, the Clubhouse guarantees coverage on all placements during member absences. In addition, the transitional employment program meets the following basic criteria. The desire to work is the single most important factor determining placement opportunity. Placement opportunities will continue to be available regardless of the level of success in previous placements. Members who works at the employer's place of business, members who are paid the privileging wage rate, but at least minimum wage, directly by the employer. Transitional employment placements are drawn from a wide variety of job opportunities. Transitional employment placements are part-time and limited, generally 12 to 20 hours per week and 6 to 9 months in duration. Selection and training of members on transitional employment is the responsibility of the Clubhouse, not the employer. Clubhouse members and staff prepare reports on TE placements for all appropriate agencies dealing with members and benefits. Transitional employment placements are management by the Clubhouse staff and members, not by TE specialists. There are no TE placements within the Clubhouse transitional employment. At a auspice, agency must be off-site from the Clubhouse and meet all the above criteria.
Thank you, Cameron. That is all for Standard Review. Hello and welcome to this week's Standard Review. The Clubhouse offers its own supported and independent employment program to assist members to secure, sustain, and better their employment. As a defining characteristic of Clubhouse supported employment, the Clubhouse maintains a relationship with the working member and the employer. Members and staff in partnership determine the type, frequency, and location of the desired support. That is all for the Standard Review. Hello and welcome to this week's Standard Review, and today I'll be reviewing standard number 24. Members who are working independently continue to have available all Clubhouse supports and opportunities as well as participation in evening and weekend programs. That is all for the Standard Review. Hello and welcome to this week's Standard Review, and I'll be reviewing standard number 25. The Clubhouse assists members to reach their vocational and educational goals by helping them take advantage of educational opportunities in the community. When the Clubhouse also provides an in-house education program, it significantly utilizes the teaching and tutoring skills of members. That is all for the Standard Review. Hello and welcome to this week's Standard Review, and the standard we'll be reading today is standard number 26. The Clubhouse is located in an area where access to local transportation can be assured both in terms of getting to and from the program and accessing TE opportunities. The Clubhouse provides an arrangement for effective alternative whenever access to public transportation is limited. That is all for the Standard Review. Hello and welcome to this week's Standard Review. And this week we'll be reviewing standard number 27, which says, Community support services are provided by members and staff of the clubhouse. Community support activities and center in the work unit structure of the clubhouse. They include helping with entitlements, housing, and advocacy, promoting healthy lifestyles, as well as assistance in accessing quality medical, psychological, pharmaceutical, and substance abuse services in the community. That is all for the standard review. Welcome to this week's standard review, and today I'll be reviewing standard number 28, which says, the clubhouse provides assistance designed to help members improve their physical health and wellness in partnership with community-based resources and healthcare providers. If the clubhouse also provides in-house wellness activities, they are scheduled to be consistent with a vibrant side-by-side work order day and significant utilize the teaching skills and experience of members. That is all for standard review. Hello and welcome to this week's standard review, and this week we'll be reviewing standard number 29, which says, the clubhouse is committed to securing a range of choices of safe, decent, and affordable housing, including independent living opportunities for all members. The clubhouse has access to opportunities that meet these criteria, or if unavailable, the clubhouse develops its own housing program. The clubhouse housing program meets the following basic criteria. Members and staff manage the program together. Members who live there do so by choice. Members choose the location of the house in their roommates. Policies and procedures are developed in a manner consistent with the rest of the clubhouse culture. The level of support increases or decreases in response to the changing needs of the members, and members and staff actively reach out to help members keep their housing, especially during periods of hospitalization. That is all for the standard review.
Reviewing standard number 30. On our regular basis, the clubhouse conducts an objective evaluation of effectiveness, including clubhouse international accreditation. And that's it for standard review.
Welcome to this week's standard review, and today we'll be reviewing standard number 31, which says, the clubhouse director, members, staff, and other appropriate persons participate in a comprehensive 2 or 3 week training program in the clubhouse model at a certified training base. That is all for the standard review. Welcome to this week's standard review, and today we'll be reviewing standard number 32, which says, the clubhouse has recreational and social programs during evenings and on weekends. Holidays are celebrated on the actual day they are observed. That is all for the standard review. Hello and welcome to this week's standard review, and today we'll be reviewing standard number 33, which says, the clubhouse has an independent board of directors, or if it is afflicted with a sponsoring agency, has a separate advisory board comprised of individuals uniquely positioned to provide financial, legal, legislative, employment development, consumer and community support, and advocacy for the clubhouse. That is all for the standard review. Welcome to this week's standard review, and today we'll be reviewing standard number 34, which says, the clubhouse develops and maintains its own budget approved by the board or supported by an advisory board, which provides input and recommendation prior to the beginning of the fiscal year and routinely monitors it during the year. That is all for the standard review. Hello and welcome back to the lowdown, and right now we're going to be reviewing the 35th standard, which says, staff salaries are competitive with comparable positions in the mental health field. What do you think about that, Alex?
Short.
Sure. You think we followed that here?
Yes. I don't know. I'm not a staff.
Hey, we need staff in here. I don't care if you're making sure get your buddy here. Okay, we're gonna have to. We're just gonna assume that they're being paid where they should be required by law. Worker union. We'll be right back.
The clubhouse has the support of appropriate mental health authorities and all necessary license and accreditations. The clubhouse collaborates with people and organizations that can increase its effectiveness in the border community.
Welcome to this week's standard review, and today we'll be reviewing standard number 37, which says the clubhouse holds open forums and has procedures which enable members and staff to actively participate in decision making, generally by consensus regarding governance, policy making, and the future direction and development of the clubhouse. That is all for the standard review.